What is going on, you guys? AK40 Kevin here in the gamer heaven. Today I want to cover 5 things I absolutely love about that white console back there. Well, I guess there's actually 3 white consoles back there. The PlayStation 5. Things I love about my PlayStation 5. Let's get it. Alrighty guys, the first thing I absolutely love about the Sony PS5 is indeed the DualSense 5 controller. Now, a controller, in my opinion, is probably one of the most important pieces of hardware on a console because it is the medium between you and the actual console. It's what you're constantly touching, and the DualSense 5 is literally second to none. I don't use the word technological marvel lightly. This thing is absolutely amazing. The first time you get your PS5, what I strongly advise you do is go over to Astro's Playroom over here. It is a demo game that is baked into the interface of the PlayStation 5 for a reason, and the whole purpose of this game is to show you the features of the DualSense 5, i.e. the haptic feedback motors. Holy shit, that's fucking loud. Suck a meat. First thing you absolutely need to do when you get yourself a PS5 is to launch Astro's Playroom, which is baked into the PlayStation 5 for a reason. It is an awesome platformer game to showcase the features of the DualSense 5, i.e. adaptive feedback triggers that get stiffer and then a crisp break just like the trigger on a real firearm. Absolutely insane. Haptic feedback vibration. There is a microphone built into this so you can actually calm up with your buddies without having to need a headset. Also, you can not only mute your microphone, but if you hold it down, you actually mute the volume of your console. It doesn't matter if you're out to your surround sound speakers, your sound bar, a baked potato, your headset. If you press this button, you will mute your shit. Also, there is a speaker on board, so a lot of games make utilization of that. For example, a cop radio or something is going to be through here. You now have a share button, which has 3 functionalities: single press, double press, and a long press. They moved the light bar over here to the outside of the touchpad, which I think is a great decision. USB-C, of course. And again, the vibration here with the haptic feedback, it's literally like you've got a lady of the night just gently licking your palms. It feels amazing. Adaptive triggers, I mean, there's literally hundreds of different scenarios where those could come into play. Pulling back a bow, a stiffer gas pedal on an old muscle car. I mean, it's amazing. Also, a lot of games use the microphone. For example, Astro's Playroom, you blow into it and it pushes them across the screen, which is pretty dope. Battery life isn't too bad on these. I've been playing the absolute nipples off this console, and I generally get about 6 to 8 hours if I'm actively Tony Hawk grinding a game or not. But again, I do have 3 DualSense controllers. We did customize this one on the channel, boys. I'm pretty proud of that one, if I do say so myself. But overall, I gotta say, I mean, this thing is amazing. I can't even speak. I'm so excited about the damn thing. Now, I will say, third-party manufacturers like Scuf, AIM, Battle Beaver, or even first-party Sony, somebody needs to make a premium esports controller, i.e. something with paddles and trigger locks, because currently we do not have a custom DualSense 5 like that. It does not exist. And unfortunately, almost all of the PS4 controllers do not convert over to the PS5. You can link them up via Bluetooth, but you don't want to do that. Bluetooth is a terrible means of data transfer. It gives you noticeable input lag, and half the time it loses connectivity. So no, you want a 2.4 gigahertz dedicated wireless connection. You don't ever want to use Bluetooth for anything besides pairing up to your cell phone to listen to music or pick up a call. That's it. Moving right along, boys, number 2, and this is a big one, ladies. It is a big, thick one. The user interface. Now, the Xbox Series S and X over here, which by the way share the same operating system, basically all the same software, it virtually feels like an Xbox One, which can be a good thing because there's zero learning curve. You hop on it and you're like, oh, I'm on my Xbox One. Then you're like, oh, I just spent $500 on a new console and it feels the same. You don't get a new generation experience from that. With the 9th gen from the 8th gen, it's a 7.5 year gap. You don't want to hop onto it and feel like it's the same damn thing. Now, the PlayStation 5, not only is it just, okay, the main menu looks different. No, sweetheart. If you want to launch into a game, you no longer need to load the game, go to the main menu, load your game there. You can actually launch into, as you can see here, a specific part of the game. So if you want to jump into a certain part of the map, or you want to just load up a save file and get into your checkpoint, you can do that from the main menu. Also, while you are in game, long press will get you back to the main menu. A single press will pop up this right here where you can jump around to other parts of the game. But this is a nice hunky-dory feature here. You double tap the PlayStation button, boys, and you can actually get tips, tricks, and tutorials right there. So if you're stuck in a puzzle or something, instead of having to go onto YouTube or Google some shit, from the user interface, you can get hints and tips as to what to do next, which is insane. There is literally so much more to the OS or the user interface to the PS5, but I will make a separate video showing you guys some tips, tricks that you can do within the UI or the GUI. Because there is a ton of stuff, boys, that you can do with the 9th gen. The next one, for somebody who likes to stream and make YouTube videos, the PlayStation 5 is far superior compared to previous generations or, unfortunately, the Xbox Series. So with the broadcast button over here, you hold this bad boy down, you can begin broadcasting right here directly to Twitch or YouTube Live, which is super sick. Now, with the Xbox, you need to install the Twitch app and then switch over in-game over to the Twitch application to change anything. The PlayStation 5 not only is built into the user interface, but it has a slew more features. When you actually go to your broadcast settings, which we're about to do right frickin' now, you get a ton more customization over here. With the capture button, you can set 3 different functionalities. Also, when you're screen recording, say you want some YouTube clips to make a compilation, if you will, guess what? You can record those at 4K if you want. Now, granted, that's going to take up a lot more data on your hard drive, so I generally go 1080p. And also, in 4K, you cannot choose MP4, which is the most compatible if you're going to throw it into your PC to edit in Adobe or something like that. You get WebM, which you'll have to convert that later. It's a big old hassle in the tuchus. So, yeah, I generally go 1080p, but you can also include your party chat from whatever app you're running or just in-game chat. And then also your mic audio, obviously. So if you're doing some hilarious knee-slapping commentary for YouTube or whatever, you can do that. Screenshot format, again, you can turn on HDR. Pretty dope. You kind of want to keep that off, though. The photos will still look good from the HDR in the game, but you don't want the HDR in the saved screenshots. It kind of makes compatibility and formatting issues. But over here in broadcast, you can broadcast to Twitch at 1080 60 frames per second. That is the cap that you can stream on a Twitch, period, even if you have a $3,000 PC. So the fact that the PS5 $500 console can hit 1080 60 with, at least on my end with my internet and everything, 0 drop frames, 0 bitrate issues, 0 latency, very, very nice. And also, if you come over here to camera, not only can you have a webcam, you can do that on an Xbox, but way more options over here. You can actually have your webcam be a circle, a triangle. You can blur your background. You can put a virtual green screen behind you. You can adjust things like contrast. And this is all baked into the user interface of the PlayStation. You don't have to have some third-party app installed or anything like that. And you can have your Twitch chat overlaid onto your screen. So instead of having to have your phone or your tablet propped up next to you to monitor chat, it'll show you how many how many followers, how many viewers, how long have you been live, your chat, etc. And again, you can choose where you want that overlay. So you want your webcam top right, you want your overlay middle left, you can do that. So that's awesome because I have streamed from the Series S and the PlayStation 5. It's much, much more fluid, smooth, and in-depth on the PS5. Again, options for the camera, and also if I want to pause or completely stop my broadcast, I just do it right here from the controller. As for the Xbox, I gotta hit the Xbox button, switch over to the Twitch app, change some settings. I don't think I'm really explaining how much better it is on the PS5. If you have questions about that, we can get a conversation in the comment section. It's a lot better on the PS5. Also, another really cool feature is whenever you unlock a trophy in a game, you can either get a screenshot, video clip saved of what you just did. So if you did something crazy and unlocked a PS trophy, it'll save a video clip, and you can turn that off, obviously, if you don't want it. You can save a screenshot and a video. I like to just save a video, and you can have it be either 15 seconds or 30 seconds. Also, when you are saving video clips, you can either tap the share button to record the last 15 seconds up to 1 hour of what just happened. So for me, about 3 minutes usually. If I get some crazy shit going on in Apex Legends or whatever, 3 minutes generally is what I would like to use as a video clip for editing. So you can save that there. But also, you can also just hold down the broadcast button and it'll start a continuous screen recording at 1080 or 4K. And then you plug in your external hard drive to the front or back of the PS5 via USB, and I'm able to transfer all that over to my external and then bring it over to my PC and edit my footage in Adobe and make some dank-ass YouTube footage for you guys. Ain't that just the cutest little princess that you ever did see? Adorable. Speaking of adorable, the onboard NVMe SSD inside of the PS5 is lightning fast. So is the Series S and X. However, the only component that is actually stronger, faster, better, hardware-wise, in comparison to the Series X is the storage, the NVMe SSD. Now, they're very close. However, Digital Foundry did testing back and forth with multiple titles that are third-party titles that are playable on both the consoles. And in about 75 to 80% of tests, the PlayStation 5 did load faster, and they're both the new consoles, lightning fast when it comes to loading games, not just launching a game, but also load times in-game, loading the game world, switching levels and maps, stuff like that. But the PlayStation 5 is lickety-split. There is absolutely zero delay in-game when it comes to load times, and I freaking love that. All right, the next one, boys, I'm not texting. I got some notes here so I don't forget anything for you boys, is, I am elderly now. I'm in my mid-40s, so I don't have the memory I used to. The graphical power, it is insanely powerful. We're talking ray tracing, some titles, upscaled 4K 120 HDR. You got to make sure you have an HDR compatible TV, of course, HDMI 2.1 to get that high refresh rate. But when you have the proper monitor or TV to push the full power of the PS5 or the Series X for that matter, the generational leap from the 8th to the 9th gen is huge. Even on the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, which I did own the One X, great console, we were only looking at about 4K 60 in some titles with some decent HDR. This is 4K 120 with ray tracing, hardware accelerated ray tracing, and better HDR, better textures and shaders. It looks... it's nipping on the heels of PC gaming, and you literally cannot build a $500 PC that will perform anything like these. Now, I do say this all the time, the performance ceiling on PCs, when you get into a $2,000-$3,000 PC, that's where PC spreads its wings and flies away from console. You know what I mean? But in the $500 to even, I would say, $1,200 range, the consoles are way more powerful. All right, boys, I got one more, or uno mas, for our brothers on the other side of the border over there. And this is completely my opinion. Looks are subjective. Appearance is completely, everyone's got their own opinion. But I gotta say, I actually like the looks of the PS5. Now, I don't think any of the new gen consoles are necessarily pretty, but I do think the PS5 is the most attention grabbing and the most next gen looking. Something that grabs you by the sack and slaps you in the foreskin. It looks damn good. She's got those flaps on her. She's got those nice thick Loba hips on them. You just want to get a squeeze on. It's a good looking console, boys. That is IMO. That is, in my opinion. But when you see it IRL in real life, it looks quite good, quite good. I will say that the digital version, the optical list, the disc list version does look better. It looks sleeker. Over here, you can it almost feels like the disc drive was almost a side point or a bolt-on. It's just kind of strapped onto the side instead of being like dead center or something. I don't like that. Also, I like the shape, but I don't think the white on the outside and the black on the inside was necessarily the best decision. Also, the piano black collects scratches and fingerprints very easily. So I'm going to be customizing this one, popping off the side plates and hydro dipping it on this channel, probably also doing a vinyl wrap on the center section. And eventually, down the road, my goal is to fully disassemble this PS5 and do a custom water cooling loop on there for the APU. And I think that would look super sick. I'm also going to add a kind of an RGB flare to it. Not Cardi B, RGB. But it'll get you stimulated regardless. And yeah, so keep tuned for that. Alrighty, guys. Now, unfortunately, nothing is perfect in life, and the PS5 certainly isn't. So shortly after uploading this video will be my 5 things that I hate about the PS5. Make sure you guys subscribe so you catch that video as soon as it goes live. If you liked the video, it was informative and entertaining. Liking the video helps to get seen by more people, helps me to grow my little flaccid channel into a big throbbing veiny rager of a channel, and I definitely appreciate that. Encourages me to keep squirting content all over the platform, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.